This episode of Android Weekly is brought to you by Domain.com. So we have lots more recent leaks surrounding LG's flagship offering. So this is an updated version of the LG G4 rumor roundup. First, let's start with design. Since the arrival of the LG G2, LG has been incorporating the rear button power volume design into just about all its devices. With the LG G3, LG took the iconic design and infused some major refinements into the aesthetics, while also introducing a metal-looking plastic back that gave the phone a more premium look. A few weeks ago, LG started teasing the G4 with an official launch date announcement that gave us a hint at what the material device could be made of: leather. The launch date teaser photo didn't bear a whole lot of detail, but we received some more clarification when the company began talking about the G4's camera. In this teaser, we were given an image that could turn out to be the back of the G4. Now it's unclear whether G4 will incorporate genuine leather like on the Moto X 2014 or faux leather like on the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. According to the rumors and speculation we've seen thus far, the alleged press images of the new handset are at least believable. Now let's talk about the display. A few rumors from a couple of weeks ago hinted that LG could potentially launch the device with a curved display, like on the G Flex 2. But LG did give us some clarification on the display. The company announced its new 5.5-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 2560 x 1440 that would launch on the G4. Despite the obvious similarities of the Quad HD display on the G3, LG says that this new display is a, quote, quantum jump in terms of key features, including color gamut, brightness, contrast ratio, touch function, power consumption, and thinness. Now let's get to the belly of the beast and talk about the phone's specs. According to the Korea Times, the G4 will use a Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 system on a chip, rather than the 810. Additionally, the recent GFX Bench listing also points to an 808 system on a chip. There's no telling exactly why LG would use the 808 over the 810, but some recent speculation entertains that LG may be waiting until the launch of the higher-end smartphone to use the more powerful 810. Additionally, the Snapdragon 810 has had some reputation issues due to claims of overheating. Aside from this, there's been little talk about the sensors and other features that may be on the device. While LG avoided the fingerprint scanner craze thus far, with more players coming on board that train, perhaps LG will finally join the likes of Samsung and others. Now, all you Shutterbugs will be happy to know that LG revealed in an official teaser video that the G4 will feature a 16-megapixel rear-facing camera with an f-stop of 1.8 aperture and an 8-megapixel front-facing camera. And now, the lower the f number, the greater the aperture opening is, and the more light can reach the sensor for each shot. This is extremely important for taking low-light shots. In fact, the 16-megapixel camera will be able to take in 80% more light than the G3's camera. For comparison's sake, the new Samsung Galaxy S6 has an aperture of 1.9, the HTC One M9 has an aperture of 2.2, and the iPhone 6 also has 2.2 aperture as well. Aside from the camera software features, this is turning out to be one heck of a camera. Now let's talk new software features, and LG is claiming to have a more human-centric UI. LG has released a teaser video for the new UX 4.0, quote, the human-centric UI, that aims to make your software experience simpler and easier. And judging from the video, we know that the UX 4.0 will have two new features. One is manual focusing for the camera and improvements for the Smart Notice application. The screenshot that we've provided here shows off the home screen that is much more flattened than the past iterations of the software, with inspiration taken from Google's material design guidelines for the color palette. Now let's get to the rub and talk release date and pricing. Just over a week ago, LG began rolling out official invites for the G4 unveiling on April 28th. Events will take place on the 28th in New York, London, Paris, and on April 29th in Seoul, Singapore, and Istanbul. It's worth mentioning that when it comes to pricing, the LG G3 debuted at a pretty aggressive price point for a high-end flagship. It wouldn't be too surprising to see the LG G4 follow suit. This means a price range of $500 to $650. So what do you guys think? Would you just get one of the flagships that's out right now, or wait for the LG G4? I would argue that if a camera is really important to you, especially an 8-megapixel front-facing camera, you might want to wait for the G4. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting my campaign, don'tbecuteeatthefruit.com, against the Android Authority app guy, Joe Hindi. Don't forget, boom, Right there. Yeah, we've been rocking his world, and we'll continue to rock his world until we see him eat the fruit. Thanks to domain.com for helping me get that sweet domain. When you buy domain names from domain.com, you immediately get the power to control what people find when they search for you online. And no domain name extensions tell your story with the same amount of trust like it does with a .com or a .net domain name. .com and .net domain name extensions inject credibility into your online presence, and who doesn't want more credibility? And you can also save 15% on your domain names and web hosting when you use our coupon code Android at domain.com checkout. Don't forget, 15% off when you use our coupon code Android. When you think domain names, think domain.com. Thanks for watching Android Army. My name is Jayce. I'd love to connect with you right here on Google Plus or Twitter or in the comments below. You don't want to forget about my brethren, my brothers in Android, Josh, Joe, and the Tech Ninja, Kevin, Lonnie, Chris, Gary, Nash, and Taylor, all working super hard to be your source for all things Android.